passes.
All right, happy witching hour. It is High Priestess Jamila. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the thumbs up. And thank you to the hater for thumbs and down. So there's been quite a bit of excitement, quite a bit of hating going on YouTube. And it's been so much hating going on that for some reason I have been slacking a little bit on information about the generational hex remover. And I wanted to talk to you guys about some generational hexes and things that your generational hex can affect. Okay. As far as with your love life, I think that it's about choosing better men, okay, or women. Okay. And so we'll stick to the important stuff, which is you removing a lot of the blocks and the limitations, as well as the mental and the physical problems from your life so that the world can sort of be your oyster. Okay. Now, I personally believe that for different races of people, but I think that every woman, if you're looking at a woman, every man probably too has some sort of complaints about feeling held back somehow religiously. Okay. And that religion has been sort of holding people back. And so it's not necessarily that the religion itself, but it's more so the way that you were raised and what your relationship with that religion is. Okay. And so, for example, if you had a Christian father or a Muslim father or whatever, he may have had limitations on what your expectation was supposed to be. Okay. And that's one of the biggest complaints with women is discrimination against men, men being disrespectful to them. Sometimes you can't really go by how men are, but I think that if your relationships do show a pattern, I believe that the generational hex remover can assist with that. Okay. However, if it is a man that chooses to be disrespectful and chooses to mistreat you, that ain't your hex. That's him. He's just a disrespectful person. Okay. So I think that a lot of people expect I think a lot of people expect for the generational hex remover to sometimes help them with their current relationship, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it takes a while. Who cares? The point of the generational hex remover is to unblock your money portals, which heals health ailments, which opens up the shmoney portals. Okay, that's the main aspect of it, is being able to survive, being able to go beyond the limitations of your family as well. Okay, and this can be immediate family, in particular when it comes to your parents. Everybody's situation is different. Let me light this up real quick because I can sense that I got a negative person in here. Sorry, y'all. I've got a lot of haters on YouTube, and they play games so that we can ignore what needs to be done. That has nothing to do with them. This doesn't directly affect them, but you know, they seem to be extremely upset when we talk about this subject for some reason. So let me light up my protection here. So let's talk about the history of the creation of this ritual and how I created it. I relocated to the Georgia area in 2015. Okay, right before I came here, I had an apartment with brand new furniture, you know, and I sold everything and decided to move here. Hello, Zenaida. Hello. Happy witching hour. And when I got here, still had the same haters. Still got the same haters, doesn't matter. But I started my company, which is Divine Services, shortly after I moved here. And there were a couple of things that I was stuck in when it came to money. Okay. So when I got here, I was on unemployment with 4 kids, and I was definitely going through poverty. And also, just to let y'all know, sometimes even with 6 figures per year, depending on where you're at in that racket, if you're right at the 100 grand mark, you possibly could. I'd say that before I allowed a very low vibratory male into my life, I felt secure as far as with my income. After I allowed this person into my life, they began to really, really harass and stalk me because, you know, he's a hater. And but when I was able to break that stronghold of poverty, my income shot up 5 times. Okay. Shortly after the Gen Hex remover. Probably took maybe a couple of months. But when I first got here, I was on unemployment, got a job, got a couple of jobs here, work from home job, started my company. And I think that first year I may have made about 10 grand, 15 grand that first year. It gradually stepped up as the years went by. So in 2016, I made more. In 2017, I made about the same, but then my spirits, you know, they came to me with the creation of this generational hex remover. And it was a very interesting ritual at first because I believe that the generational hexes that were put on me was meant to keep me in bondage. Okay, it was meant to keep me in bondage. And by the way, if you're somebody that has personally attacked me, instead of thumbsing down my videos, why don't you try apologizing for what you did? Why don't you try apologizing publicly? Because you may have to be addressed. A lot of people thought that they could just do stuff and it was supposed to be a pink elephant in the room. And some things I have to address. And so this is how I'm addressing you. If you have a problem with it, you need to publicly apologize to me. Because regardless to what you did, I still did what I had to do. And see, this is what's important for a lot of you women. My generational hex remover, first of all, okay, let's talk about my personal love life, okay, real quick, since people wanted to try to make the things seem a certain way. I have a natural ability to keep a man attached to me. I always have. Okay. And so the older you get, you don't lose your power. You're still the same person. It doesn't matter how old you are. But that was a gift that was innate in me. The only difference is that it was the wrong types of men that would stay attached to me. But I still have that ability because I kind of always chose men that were challenged. Let's put it like that. Okay, so I would choose men that were challenged because I'm a very patient and understanding person. I don't have like as far as with doing love work and stuff like that, like of course, I know how to do love work. Of course, I'm very good at love work, but most of my love work on men comes as a natural ability. So, typically I'm not interested in whether or not I can control a man's mind, control his behavior. A grown man is supposed to control himself. You know what I'm saying? So let's skip past that part because I've never claimed that I could put a man under mind control. Typically, the type of men that I am going to hold on to are the ones that like to have fun, very family oriented, and so and that's why they're over thumbs and down because they're guilty of it. And I gotta say something to you people, real quick. If you are an enemy, unsub from my channel. That's what I would suggest to you because my generational curse removals are not the only thing that works. Trust me, my curses work too. Okay. And so if you guys need some cursing services, because that's why they're here. The only thing is that I can't force these people to get over their jealousy. So they do have the free will. They have the right to come and watch me. They can be petty all the hell they want. But you women, as well as men, deserve to hear the truth. Okay. So it seemed like the generational hex that I had on me was one to where I would be limited in what my potential was, as far as because it took 3 years to really get my company and get my business off the ground because I was having so many. And at first, it was my mother. Okay, long story. I believe that the gen hex that was placed on me was placed by my parents, and it was done to keep me a little girl or to keep me codependent forever. And that's what a lot of you guys' generational hexes is coming from, especially if your father or either your mother was a Christian. Okay, if that makes sense. Or if your parents didn't earn that much money. Many of us came from, I mean, definitely there was food on the table, the bills were paid, but it wasn't, an environment where money was free because, growing up, I mean, my parents could have barely afford to buy me a pair of shoes half the damn time. Okay, which is something that I did not want to repeat for my children. Okay, it was something I did not want to repeat for my children, and it didn't. Okay, and see, this is where I am very, very finicky about family. You guys know that I don't communicate a lot with my father. I am estranged from my father, and it just is what it is. He is who he is. It's very different for me because I'm a witch. So my struggle goes a little bit deeper. But even as a witch, I was able to make some very important strides in my life. And of course, there are some people, and to be honest with you, I don't believe that my father actually minds what I do. Okay. But I think that since, you know, I've noticed religious people and stuff like that. So that's a generational hex that can be in your family. Or it can be something to where, like, for example, if you guys notice, a lot of you guys that get kind of bullied and people try to step over you or step on you, a lot of you guys may have came from families like that as well, where they just kind of wasn't right. Okay. And so, a lot of times what what, because it's all about that competition thing, and it's not about what's best for the children and what's best for the future of the clan. It's all about, who has more, da 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 da. This is why I went off on my own. And I never called my family for nothing. They, never. I've never called. In all these years, I know that I had spoken with my uncle shortly after my mother passed away. No, it was my aunt. It was my auntie. And she said, well, you must be doing good because you don't never call us and ask us for nothing. And that is the truth. Okay. So I take care of myself and I'm able to financially support myself. And the reason why is because my energies and vibrations are very, very, very confident. My energy and vibrations are very powerful when it comes to my magic. Okay, and so that is where I am my strongest. And it ain't just magic, it's necromancy. Okay, so I do practice necromancy. And necromancy, the reason why it is tied to what's happening with you generationally is because there can either be spirits that are on you, there could be spirits that are over your family. You never know what kind of contract that you have on you. I know that I've heard people, I've noticed that there are some people that have heard me speak about generational hex removers and mine specifically, and then they try to mimic it. Understand that since I have removed it, I have removed a great deal of that, and nobody can put that back on you very quickly. Generational hexes are hexes that you get while you're in your mother's womb. Okay. And then it has a lot to do with what you were taught growing up. I know that on my mother's side, my mother, she actually encouraged me a lot to be a witch. My grandmother was into astrology. So my maternal side of the family actually was pivotal and very strong. It made me a stronger witch. It taught me, like my grandmother taught me kitchen witchery and stuff like that. I learned how to cook when I was 7 years old. And, but my father's side of the family, they're more so Christian. And I don't think that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think either side of my family really cares about what I do. I think that they don't like it. Do I think that my father's side of the family would stalk me? No, you got people that are on YouTube that want to mimic my family because they have Facebook and these people are stalkers. So I want to let y'all know, okay, a couple of the main lies that they told on me was that I am on Section 8. No, I am not. I got off of Section 8 in 2019. Okay, so that's one lie. And that's a very important lie that they told because that's one of the generational hexes, is being in poverty, being impoverished. And I broke the cycle of poverty. Okay, completely 3 years ago, I didn't move into my house until 2020, but I still broke that generational poverty, and I was able to do it with my business in spite of having stalkers and haters, okay, that wanted to steal my ideas and pretend that they could do the same goddamn thing that I do. So that's what these people are still doing, and any of them involved with it is going to hear from my spirits. Okay, but I wanted to let y'all know that I've noticed that a lot of you guys have that Gen Hex remover in your cart. You need to do it. Okay, a lot of y'all can be under possession by certain spirits that don't serve you. You've had hexes put on you by certain people in the family. You know, you have had health issues that mainly come from anxiety, hypochondria, okay, and fear. A lot of you guys have like this stage fright because family is supposed to be this foundation for you. But what if your family isn't considered to be a foundation? You know, there are some people that feel that if your parents were not married, that you didn't have a strong foundation. I feel like having strength of character is a strong foundation, because even though my upbringing was not perfect at all, I still managed to survive it and make it through it. And I'm a very strong person with a strong will to survive. It doesn't matter if a man dogs me. It doesn't matter if a woman tells me she don't want to be my friend. It doesn't matter. Okay. Self-sufficiency is what it is about. Okay. Now, I believe that people have other challenges, such as myself, with jealous foes. Okay, so that's something that's handled separately, but the things that are in you, the things that are blocking your talents and blocking your money, okay, those are the things that the generational hex remover will remove. And I actually just recently did one for a client, and shortly after that, she expanded her business. Now, I believe that this particular client watches way too much of this YouTube. I do. I believe that some of y'all do. And I believe that that watching a lot of these people on here would limit you all together. So I noticed that, like yesterday, y'all still seem to be watching those low vibrating people. Okay, that within itself is going to cause fear, doubt. If you're watching people like Jesse Lee Peterson, if you're watching people like Tommy Sotomayor, you're screwing yourself. So if you're a woman, especially, don't watch these channels, because those men are generationally hexed. That's why they talk about the things that they talk about. Okay, so generational strongholds can be poverty, it could be infertility, it could be you know, a violent spirit that, you know, that may have came from your father. Procrastination, you know, when it seems like it seemed like you're just being held back. This is what the Gen Hex remover can do. It can push you forward. You just have to be ready for that. You know, I know that it can somewhat be overwhelming to some people, especially if you're doing witchcraft. So I think a lot of witches don't like that, because a lot of witches are afraid of their own power. For me, I am not. Okay. But you may not necessarily want the generational hex remover because you're a witch, even though a lot of you are. You may want it because you want a better job, or you want to make more money, or you may want to start your own business. It doesn't have to be as a witch, it can be whatever you want it to be. Okay, so those of you that want that Gen Hex remover, and I have noticed that a lot of you guys will say, oh, I'm gonna do it, I need to do it, I need to do it. And you do need to do it, because you need to stop letting these people lie to you, and understand that when I started making six figures in 2018, I was ready to get into this house then, but then I had another challenge, which was the landlord. Okay, there's a whole story behind this with my landlord that was kind of weird, which is another reason why if you a woman on Section 8, you need to get the hell off of it. Okay, because if you're on Section 8, that landlord might be a slumlord. Just saying. So, everybody has an invested interest. And keep in mind that I was not on Section 8 my whole life. Somebody had said that, my mother bought houses. My grandmother owned her house. In fact, my grandmother's house is still in the family. My uncle lives in it. So, oh yeah. If you guys want this ritual, understand that it does work. And it does make you feel better. It gives you a sense of security. You finally have security. You're secure within yourself. Okay. If you get a Gen Hex remover, it'll definitely help you with the thumbs down, making you feel insecure. Oh Lord, these people on YouTube, boy, and it don't go beyond YouTube, trust me. That's their life. YouTube and thumbs up and thumb down, because that's all the power that they have. Go ahead, keep giving me numbers, babe. We're gonna get a 666 soon here. Okay, I'm gonna be watching. Got 6 up, 6 down, 7 watching. So we gotta get back to business here. Yes, the ritual does work. All of my rituals work. Like I said, I can't control a grown man that has the right to make his own decisions. Up 666, thank you. We got it. If you guys want to know, that number is very powerful with the angels. It's definitely a good sign. Okay. So I feel that every woman should definitely focus on her finances and getting herself independent into a place where she can choose to either get a man in her life or not. Okay, the men in your life shouldn't be stalking you at work, though. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of, and obviously they are. Oh, we got 666 again. So I think that for me, probably, what would be the best for what my suggestion would be is to stay away from these depreciating men and divest yourself from them and start investing in yourself. Okay, because once you get yourself to the place that you want to be financially, you can pick whatever man you want. But I would say pick a man that is not limited within himself. That way he won't attack you. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I've dated losers. Okay. And I made a decision to date losers because I have a tendency to get attached to people. I do. And well, when I was in my 20s and as far as with the baby daddy and stuff like that, when I was in my 20s, I was stupid. These days, it's not necessarily stupid. When you're in your 40s, you expect a man to act like a grown man and not a teenager. Okay, so expectations versus reality, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can't control another person's foul behavior. Now, I can stop that person from doing harm to you. I can tell you that in the last month, I've had things that were done to me that was supposed to destroy me, kill me. Guess I was supposed to have a heart attack. I don't, you know what? If I was a narcissistic person, then I would have suffered narcissistic injury. But I'm not a narcissist. So that's why that situation didn't hurt me. Okay, just to let you know, you guys know. Letting go and releasing your ego or your super ego is so good for money manifestation. Thank you, Mysteriously Kind. It's so good for money manifestation. And having that pure of heart and being able to manifest the things that you want and see, this is something that had became a challenge for me. You know, as soon as I let other people into my space, because a man that's insecure, that's what he wants to manifest for you, is insecurity. And obviously that's what this person was trying to do. I don't know why some men have the need to do that. Well, I can tell you I'll never make that mistake again, because at the end of the day, this is what I do, this is who I am, and this is how I help people. Because I was in, and everybody that has gotten my generational X remover has been happy with it. I know that I've been happy with it. I usually do 2 of them per month, 2 per month. And everybody that I do them for is very happy. Okay. I also think that when it comes to your love life, you have to consider, okay, because a lot of people, you know, but I had somebody come to me. Everybody that's been contacting me has been like, Jamila, I want to get some money spells. I don't give a damn about no love. But you know what? I feel that you should at least be open to it, okay? Because that's a hex as well. I think you should be open to it. As long as you're open to it, that's okay. If you don't, if you try it with a person and they don't, and you don't necessarily like, that person doesn't want to settle down with you or whatever, then you can move on to the next. It's very easy actually to move on to another man. Okay. However, you have men that will put love bindings on you. Okay. And so, and then they'll even have women do this to you. But I think that when you have seen them do some of the most awful, despicable things to you on your job, this is your job, right? Okay. And I've had foes and enemies come on here and, you know, da 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 da, say the most horrible stuff, do the most horrible stuff, you know, release videos, pictures. It's like, you know, them people, they make their choice. Doing that, I guess, to try to get people to doubt me, or I don't know. But what I do know is that we've got to get back to business, because there's a lot of you that need my assistance with that. And while I don't have a husband, you know, it would be nice if I had one. Maybe I will meet somebody and he will be totally different and he will probably practice who knows what the future holds. I'm very excited and, and optimistic about what the future brings. Okay. And the one thing I can tell you is that I am an independent woman. It doesn't, for me, I feel like relationships are important. Okay. But I think that you should be in a relationship with the correct person. Okay. That is equally yoked with you. It can be very difficult when you are successful to find a man that is equally yoked with you. One of the reasons why is because when you are a successful woman, you're going to attract probably several different types of men. Some of the top ones is going to be men that are looking for a handout. They're looking for you to take care of them. And that's not what you want either. You want somebody that can pull their weight, don't you? Okay. So you don't want somebody that's just there for the money. Like, that's crazy. Or it may be a man that he feels that he is the answer, he is the solution, and he feels like as soon as he gets you, you got to quit your career and da 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 da. Or it can be one that works with you. Whatever that is that you've got going on, you still have the right to be independent in between that. Relationships end every single day, but are you going to be able to financially support yourself and live a good life, right? Like, live a life that you can enjoy. Okay. Are you going to be able to do that? That's the question. And if you are not independent, and if you have these blocks on you, because men can try to put blocks on you. Yes, they can. I have men almost every single day in social media, chanting that I'm poor, which I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have never in my life seen anything so utterly ridiculous. I don't even believe that it has anything to do with my generational curse, because I've removed a lot of that. Really, to be honest with you, I haven't even needed any follow-up rituals, because when I first started freeing myself of the gen hexes, oh man, I was having back pain and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And just periods of fear and doubt, and but here lately, those periods of fear and doubt have sort of been artificially created. And men are going to have to answer to the goddess they are. I don't listen to it. That's why I told y'all, I said, don't go listen to those people. Those people are trying to use like the Jedi mind trick, or try to block you subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? You should never commune with people like that. You come over here, you're going to know that the sky is the limit. People like that are very limited, you don't want to take in what they're doing. I've tried to explain this over and over again to certain people. I am no longer trying to save people from that situation. If you want to continue to listen to that negative stuff, then you can listen to it by yourself. I won't bother. I won't bother, seriously, because I have way too much important stuff to do. Okay. But, and I think that a lot of y'all, it's not just those types of things, but it's also the struggle and identifying with certain struggles of your race that you need to get away from. So, for example, when it comes to the Black struggle, do y'all think that I go and watch Tariq Nasheed on a regular basis? No, because all he talks about is how Black people are messed up. You know what I'm saying? So you can't watch stuff like that. Okay, you can wish your people the best. I always wish my people the best. While I do know that there's discrimination that goes on and racism against Blacks, I don't allow it to hold me back. And mainly it is because a lot of people allow racism and, this whole so-called white supremacy thing to hold them back, is because they feel intimidated by it. They They don't know any other way. For me, it doesn't bother me at all. And it has nothing to do with color of skin. It is what it is. Those things are in the past. And I feel that Black people make a mistake staying constantly focused on that, which is why I don't have any respect for them. It's always, oh, Black people are this, Black people are that. You know what? Black people can be whoever the hell they want to be. Okay, that's what I tell my sons and my daughters and my granddaughters, that the sky is the limit. Stop limiting yourself, okay? And we know that there's a lot of Black people that are just very negative. They're very, very negative. And, those types of people, they have generational hexes and bindings on them. So that's why you have to separate yourself from those types of people. That's real talk. Okay, at least for a little while until you get yourself at a place where, and then, I mean, if they're coming over to your house, threatening you in your front yard, talking bad about your house that you're proud of, then they don't need to be invited back over now, do they? Seriously. Okay, so you can say whatever you want to say about my house. It is mine and I live in it and I pay the bills here. Okay, and they'll say, oh, well, Black women shouldn't be proud of that. You don't have a man. No, I think it's that a man don't have me. Let's flip that around. A man don't have me. And I was talking about earlier, a lot of the curses on the Black men and the Black fathers is, I'd rather not deal with them at all. Okay, except for my sons. So, life will get better and you'll be more confident. Things will come in easier, but you got to be able to stay in that vibration or in that energy. My recent client, she had a lot already that has manifested, but I think that it does take time, like up to 3 months for you to, and the change has to happen within you. Okay, honestly, because those internal changes is what's going to make the difference. So the reason why some people earn more money than other people is because those people have different energies and vibrations. That's why. Sometimes if you have a man trying to reinforce insecurity within you, failure, things of that nature, sometimes you have to make the decision to walk away from that person. Okay, men that make you unstable in your energy, which for me, they don't. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't give a damn. Honestly, men they're either going to be a source of sex or a source of love or a source of money for me, unless it's my husband that I'm very close with. And, that it would take a very powerful man to fill those shoes for me. Okay. And it's not a man that has power over me, but rather it is a man that is supportive of me and shares my vision. That is something that, we all want. A man to be supportive and share our vision. And, you can light candles and you can do spiritual work, but if it's just not meant to be and you're not equally yoked, the time that you have had with that person pretty much is played out and it's time to let go and move forward. Okay. With or without them. I always tell people that, especially when it comes to men that walk away from me, I'm moving forward with or without you, and I'm going to have everything that you tried to stop me from getting, because they usually do for some reason, especially if it's an insecure man. I don't know what the obsession is with stalking a woman at her place of employment. There seems to be an apparent obsession with doing that for a lot of men, in particular men that don't have anything going on with their life. Okay, codependent men, okay, that are insecure. But as far as establishing a foundation for yourself as a woman or a man, because all of the men in social media that attack me, they could use the generational hex remover, probably even want it, but obviously it's not meant for you to be a client if you don't have the money, unless you have good credit. Then you can get financed on Etsy. Okay, so Etsy actually, did some really good changes. And, so that you guys, that if you want to get that ritual on credit, you can through Klarna. Okay, so if you need it and you have good credit, but you don't necessarily have the funds, I'd say that Etsy would be a good choice, especially if you are married to somebody that you're meant to be with, and you want to remove it from the both of you so that you can do better, whether or not it's you want to have a baby. You may want to get along better, but this has got to be somebody that you're with. Okay, you don't want to just do that on anybody. Somebody that's made a commitment to you. But if you want to do it for yourself, or if family needs it, because everybody could use it, it does help you live a better and a more stress-free life. It does, because those strongholds and those spirits and entities, they will be attached to your chakras, and they will have a binding effect on you. This is the reason why I don't let everybody in my house anymore. You can't get up in here. Okay, everybody can't get up in my house anymore. In fact, I need to sage. I'm going to talk to y'all about letting certain people in your house, and the fact that they have spirits in them that they are trying to pass over to you. And it's so sad that people would rather go the route of Christine Brown instead of appropriately moving, because people are cheap. They don't want to invest in themselves. And so instead of them, actually paying for the help, they will come around and attack witches, which is totally stupid, and try to drop off their crap to you. So it's very important, after somebody that is hexed themselves visits your house, that you clean out your house, that you smoke out your house. Okay. Yeah. Somebody that would be jealous of an apothecary is light years behind me. I can promise you that spiritually, because I've never seen anything like it before in my life. And these people do that, because they are stuck behind. They are behind in life, and they're mad at you because you've gotten ahead. I couldn't be in my 40s behaving that way. I would be too embarrassed. But hey, people have their own thing. They're not embarrassed to do low value, low vibrating stuff, but they are embarrassed about being human. So I do think that once you start making advancements and strides forward, I do believe that people in your life that were not actually for you, they will change on you. So you may have to get prepared for that. I'd rather have my security and my financial security over a friendship with a fake person any day. I'm not gonna, and nobody should ever ask you to do that. Nobody should ask you, hey, give up your security for me. But for what? What what would be the reason that I would need to do that? It just doesn't make any sense. So, that's a fraud. That's a fake person in your life that tells you to, give up your career for them or, sacrifice, your children's future for them. It's kind of weird, so that's why I stick to it, and that's why I ain't went nowhere, because I have way too much invested, and regardless to what these delusional people say, I make way too much for my family, and then also I help way too many people. So that's something that I will never give up, not ever. Okay, not in a million years, not for anybody. Not for anybody. You shouldn't have to. Okay, you shouldn't have to. You should be able to live a comfortable life, to where, if your kid, needs new shoes or something, you can just get them with no problem. Or if you need car repairs, you just got it with no problem. You should have money saved up. And people that are super duper focused on how much money you have, it is because they don't have shit. So, okay, so if you want to have shit, then the generational hex remover will help you. Okay, being able to get away from a very ignorant situation that is very depreciating is very liberating. Sorry, y'all. It's almost like you get your wings back and you start to fly and you take off. I told y'all that I had a dream about flying about a week ago, and it felt good. It was a really fun dream. It wasn't a nightmare. It was a flying dream. So, witches will tell you that often they will have dreams of flying. Okay, which means that if you're a witch that has a dream that you are flying, that means that your power is at an all high. It's definitely at a heightened point in your life, because everything that you went through was meant to make you stronger. It wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to make you appreciate yourself, because when somebody else doesn't appreciate you, who other than yourself is going to appreciate you? Okay, so it's about self-love, self-preservation. And you know what I noticed? There are a lot of interesting channels on here of women who moved off the grid by themselves. So a lot of the traveling that I'm going to do, I'm going to do it by myself if I have to, and with my children. I don't necessarily have to have no man to do that. Hey, Zaina. Hello, sweetie. Yeah, you can definitely do whatever it is that you want. You don't necessarily have to have a man with you. I mean, and a lot of those fears and insecurities that people have, I promise you, those things will go away. I do think that it is important, if a person that you're dealing with is vibing very low, for you to, get away from them. You never know. Maybe they will change. Maybe they will get better. In the meantime, your life goes on and your life continues, doesn't it? Because I'm planning a couple of trips over there to Florida, and I saw somebody. Did y'all see Ashira? She took her girls over there to Disney World or to Disneyland. My kids are a little too old for that, but they might want to go. I don't know. I know my grandbaby would like to do something like that. So I don't know. I'm planning on visiting Florida, which will be very, very interesting, because I haven't went anywhere in so long. You know, and then also those are the type of men that like to isolate you. We're dealing with that. And, you know, I think that when men do things like that, I think that you have to unblock yourself and unbind yourself. For some reason, they're trying to put bindings on you and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're sending bad energy to you. Okay. And I can tell you that there is no man that is a practitioner that is stronger than me, unless I feel sorry for him or I feel love for him. If I feel love for him and I shouldn't, well, I'm sorry. I can't feel romantic and loving if things ain't right. So trust me, Jamila ain't been in the mood for love or sex. Okay, how you gonna be in the mood for love or sex with somebody that's acting crazy? You can't. No. Zaina, I'm looking for somebody to go over to my Barker's house with me. Okay. I think that'll be a lot of fun. But it's got to be somebody I can trust, you know. But you know what? I think that people that don't have trust are the ones that you can't trust, if that makes sense. Because we're supposed to be living life and enjoying it. I don't understand all of the all of the craziness. You know, all the people that are tight and pressed about shit, you know. People that are tight and pressed about other people's money, I don't hang around people like that. If you were online calling and focusing on somebody that's not doing shit with their life, 9 times out of 10, I'm turned all the way off, because what are you focused on? So, you know, I'd rather separate myself altogether from stuff like that. Makes you feel a whole lot better. It's liberation. Oh, that will be so much fun going over there to Florida, over to Carney Island. I was talking about it the other day. And I can't remember if for some reason, men get intimidated when I talk about my past life. They get intimidated with everything. So annoying. Wish they would take their timid selves and get the hell on. Trying to make me look like I'm not a powerful witch is what they've been trying to do. And I've gotten quite irritated with that, and I've ran out of patience with them. Okay. So, you know, at the end of the day, um, now that I'm single and unattached completely, I'd like to start having some fun here. And my favorite time of the year is coming up, which is the fall. And we have the autumn equinox coming up. Okay. We have the autumn equinox coming up, so that's going to be nice. I cannot wait until this summer breaks, though. I'm not a summer person. I prefer fall, winter, and spring. Summer, sigh. So, you know, we're coming up on that time. I can't wait until the end of this month, till we get into September, and then we get into the fall. A lot of y'all have been programmed. I know I enjoy every holiday, whether or not I'm single or with somebody. I don't know what somebody's obsession was with my holidays. Have y'all noticed that? In fact, you're not going to really manifest the person that you want being like that, especially during the holidays. So a lot of people every year they get very, very sad and suicidal during the holidays because these are curses that were evidently built up in them or put into them. And I'm everybody gonna be on ignore. I have estranged blood relatives in Florida. Oh, do you? I don't think about my estranged relatives too often. You know, I don't think about them too often. I think it's good for you to not think about them. Think about yourself. Okay. Family is important, but if family is negative, I think that you owe it to yourself to have your own life outside of your family. You understand what I'm saying, Zaina? Sorry, guys, I'm multitasking. I'm doing a really, really beautiful ritual right now. And I've been sitting over here charging up the candles. Okay. So while we have been distracted by the haters, we need to get back to business. And regardless to what they say, I've been extremely successful anyway. Okay. And, I think that people that have to degrade others to feel better about themselves are at a weak position in life. And that's something that you can't be concerned about. Okay. Which is why, it's kind of good sometimes to go into hermit mode. The type of friends that I imagine myself having are very successful, very positive, supportive, possibly into witchcraft as well, but into probably spiritually gifted. That within itself can be somewhat of a difficult thing to do because I don't know. When I lived in Kansas, there was actually a wonderful community of witches over there. Over here in the South, I haven't really ran into like a witchy community or anything, but I kind of feel like I live in one. I feel like this area that I live in is like a transitioning point for, witches that are up and coming, so I feel very good about myself for obtaining this house, and I will get another one. And so my focus this year is not on a man, but it is, getting my credit together, building my credit back up so that I can prepare myself for purchasing a home. And so focusing on that, focusing on your goals, when you get a generational hex remover and you have goals of home ownership, it's important for you to start like the process of that, during that time frame that you're looking into buying a home. Or if you feel like you've got some hiccups in doing that, and you feel like, oh my God, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I can't pull through with it, then you can possibly get the generational hex remover at that time, and it'll go ahead and push things through. Okay. And so, yeah, so some women have a generational hex remover on them that they can't buy houses. Okay. By themselves, or that they need help, or, you know, my mother owned 4 houses before she passed away. And, you know, she did it by herself. My mother was single. And so my mother was like, I don't want a man. My mother was done after my father. She was like, oh, I am so done. And so she kind of let that situation go. Probably because of the trauma that she experienced with my father. And then, of course, being his daughter, I experienced trauma because of what he was doing to my mother. And, you know, I do think that my mother, while my mother was not perfect, I think that she taught me everything that I needed to know about survival. Because I think until we had fell out, and it is an actual demon, but until we had, up until the time that we had fallen out, my mother, she told me, she said, I know you're going to be able to make it anywhere. You're a pioneer woman. You were strong and you're very smart, you know. And so, you know, people, especially men, you know, that want to treat women like little girls, you know what I'm saying? It's very strange, but especially in social media, they absolutely, these men in social media, if you can call them men, uh, they're just so strange, and who cares? It feels like kind of like the funny mirror activity, but who cares? You know what I'm saying? Those people have nothing to do with you. I stand alone. Hey, SC, I stand alone. I don't need no man to claim me and nothing like that. I'm not a dog. I'm not a horse. I'm a human being. I'm a woman. Okay, so you know the games that were played on here, it's time for us to start ignoring it and go ahead and get down to business, because I'm not going to be focused on that ignorance, seriously, and I don't think you guys should be either. I think that a lot of y'all that are watching right now, y'all are still focused on that foolishness, and it's time to stop. Okay, and get down to the reason why I'm here, which, you know, like I said 30,000 times, this is not a dating site. You know, some of these people just don't understand it, because there's a lot of women that go everywhere seeking validation from men, and I don't. I never wanted validation from one man on this website, not ever. Okay, instead they tried to force it on me, and it's like, well, you don't validate me. So I didn't really understand what was the point, especially being that from what we can see, nobody else is running a business. But you know, I think that one of them, he did try to steal business from me, because, you know, remember, it was strange. He started calling himself a psychic reader, and then he immediately started to try to discredit my work, which is, needless to say, weak sauce for a man to have to do that anyway. But you know, so um seemed like everybody wanted to jump off their careers with me, you know, and at the end of the day, you can't trust them. If I wasn't able to trust them, you can't either. Big facts. Okay. Everything that I've created, all of my rituals that I have created, they work. People get mad at me because of it. I don't have to have friends. I'm not codependent like that. So if somebody doesn't want to be my friend, I'm not going to cry about it, you know? I think it's very childish personally. Y'all, I am loving my new wand. I use it every time I do a ritual. It is so nice. Okay, so I do provide high quality rituals, including reversals, hex breakers, money rituals. Okay, I do provide love work, but you know, you can't really do love work on an agent. You can't do love works on somebody that's an agent or a flying monkey. That's because it's not going to apply because the person that's doing an agent is going to be very disingenuous anyway. So, you know, I'd say, you know, ride it until the wheels fall off and then that's it. But other than that, you know, getting back to the serious work that I do in my company and in my business, you know, you're definitely going to see results from every single ritual that I do for you. And no, it has never been my goal to control a man. You know, I think that somebody had mentioned something about that. Oh, she's trying to make it look like she's this powerful woman that can control a man. And I've never, ever said that. Never. In fact, if I, you know, a lot of the, I mean, for me to put that much stock into you, or for any woman to put that much stock into you, you'd have to be worth it. And I think if you're a man that's stalking a woman at her job and talking crazy to her and verbally and emotionally abusing her, I don't think you're worth it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a man trying to use his love energy to control you and control how much, you know, I'm not familiar with, you know, I am somewhat familiar with that, but I'm not familiar with it in a sense to where I don't let it control me. I don't let stuff like that really bother me. It's something that, you know, little boys have a tendency to do in their confusion. And like I said, it, you know, it's I don't know. Do they expect us to feel insecure when they do that? Especially somebody that doesn't pay your bills. Mm-mm. And then some, and if you're a witch and you have a man trying to make it look like he controls you, that's a that that would be defeating the purpose of being a witch. In fact, as a witch, I'll probably always remain single. I probably will never get married. First of all, I don't want to get married. I hand fast. I don't believe in government marriages. And my son's father had given me a whole bunch of information about that. And we were just friends, you know, so it wasn't like he was just telling me that information to, you know, avoid marrying me because we were friends. He was a donor and we were friends, and he was not from Canada. Jacob's father was from Kansas. Okay, so the desperation to make me look bad was that deep. It was so terrible. It was. But you know, the people, and the sad part about it is that, you know, his father is a white man, and he seems to be a whole lot more. What you'll find out is that as Black women, for some reason, Caucasian men seem to be a lot more fairer with us. You know what I'm saying? They seem to not have an invested interest in trying to fuck us up. You know what I'm saying? Like, God. And it just, I was talking about the frustration of it earlier, and just being completely over it and completely being divested from those types of Black men, because and if you want to, for me to deal with a Black man, he from this moment forward, he would have to be extremely spiritually, uh he would have to have a certain spiritual belief system, and I'm not cool with the spiritual belief system that some of them have. Mm. Over there in Germany, SC, it's legal to beat your wife or spank your wife or something. Is that true? Is he kind of controlling as a man? They covered up your comment. Hold on a second. Let me show it. I only date white men because they treat me better. Yeah, and you know what? With Black men, they are extremely untrustful. And I think that the energy that they bring in of antitrust just completely blows everything out of the water. And so that's why they have a lot of heart problems, and that's why they have a lot of circulation problems and issues. And it's like, damn, can you just relax and just, it's very difficult. And you can't really pull through sex magic with some of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I know exactly how you feel. And I don't think that I'm specifically looking for a white man, but I think that when it comes to Black men, I look at them side eye, because in all of my experiences with Black men, including my father, it has always been very oppressive. I just, and you know what? Blow it out, breathe it out. Thank you. I like to express myself in the bedroom without, and see, I can't do that. If I'm going to go to another race of man, and see, that's what I was saying. It may not even necessarily be about race, but it could be about spiritual beliefs. He would definitely have to be down with witches. He would definitely have to be down with witches and understand witches and be willing to be everything that a witch needs him to be. There is no way I could be with a man that doesn't appreciate me as a witch. Also, if you don't believe in witchcraft, you would not qualify to get next to me. I have, and y'all know that I've actually inquired with a Black man about him joining me in my business, and his words were, well, I don't want to actually do witchcraft. I just want to scam people. And it's like, no, you can't join my company. you know, I think that it's sad that they have a limited belief. And I'm sorry, I hate to be down on Black men, but show me a Black man that is more spiritually sound and open and understanding, and just the primitive weird beliefs and the fact that they don't really know how to benefit from witchcraft. It's very disturbing to the spirit, and I don't want it. Because some of them will even ask you to not be a witch anymore. How the fuck does that? What? How does that even work? I think for me, guys, I think that my trust in men has dropped a whole lot, especially being a business owner. I think that he would have to invest a significant amount of money in me and in my business. And let's face it, the government will invest in my business, but a lot of these men out here, they won't. And it's because they have way too many fears. I can't deal with no fearful man. I can't deal with it. Mm-mm. I cannot deal. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. He's got to be spiritually advanced. He cannot be somebody that is, and you know what's crazy is that this is what's crazy about some men is that they'll say that they're not religious, but they will carry a lot of religious traits. And that's a turnoff for me. A religious man is a complete turnoff for me. Somebody preaching and telling me that I should give up my power and that I shouldn't be a witch because of why I don't know. It just, yeah. So that part of my life is over. I closed the book on that, and we're writing a new book going forward. Yeah, because it's so many of them that are messed up. And I think that a lot of women, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think that a lot of women have accepted just being alone in this life because so many of them are messed up and they don't want to listen. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And then also, men are typically more so influenced by negativity and not positivity. They have a horrible relationship with money. They're all worried about money. They're worried. They're worried. Their energy is totally not matching with mine. You got to be equally yoked. Because for me, I took the left hand path. And so for me, manifesting is very easy until you start dealing with the type of people, and this can be man or woman, not just men, women too, dealing with women that have limitations and blocks. And a lot of you do. There's a lot of women that have limitations and they have blocks. Let's keep it real. It ain't just men and it ain't just black men because I've dealt with people. So this is the reason why, and I never said that I was going to have people running my company with me. So I don't know where we got that confused at, the recent, females that threw me under the bus. I never mentioned working with clients with them. Decided to open up a side business with them and, they ain't ready for what I got going on over here. So, I decided to take that venture to Amazon on my own. You know what I'm saying? And so Spirits was like, just expand your business by yourself, and it is what it is. It just gotta, so there's a lot of exciting things going on. In fact, whenever things are about to get real good, you notice that your enemies, they will somehow see it come in for you, and then they'll want to try to stop it, which that's exactly what they're trying to do out of jealousy. And so, as far as me being friends or friendly friends with somebody, you got to be on the same page as me, man. I can't deal with people that are spiritually beneath me. I can't deal with people that are beneath me. And if you were trying to stop somebody else's money flow or stop them at work or be weird and all that stuff, then you are not at the level that I'm at. So I would choose not to be friends with you. If you feel the need every day to, wake up every morning and target one person, then me and you can't be cool. You know what I'm saying? And as far as what I'm talking about now, it's because it needs to be talked about, because is very alarming to people, to my clients. And, it's just like this one person told me, when he told me the advice to let go of one of my female friends. He said, you need to explain to her that she is insulting African American people, because I didn't know how to let it go. But then he himself came back and attacked me. So I guess it was one of those things to where they wanted to take over or mess up what I built. Anyway, I built a very, very strong foundation for my company at the end of the day. And that foundation came from self. It didn't come from nobody else. I did not go into business with anybody else. In fact, the reason why they hate for witches to go into business, because going into witchcraft is probably one of the most lucrative businesses that really you don't have to invest $1 in if you don't need to. You can do spiritual work without even having a candle. So, that's one of the reasons why they hate, because they ain't you and they can't congratulate. And I think that they want that to hurt your feelings, and it doesn't. I think that when you unload somebody that is like that, I think that it opens the doors to much more to come into your life. Because I can tell you that, anybody that has made a direct attack on my company, the forgiveness is not going to really come easily. It's not. Okay, honestly, and now if those people were to invest thousands of dollars in my company, which people have, and all of my clients are happy. If you notice, you don't hear no complaints from my actual real clients that have invested in me. Okay, I think that out of the 6 years that I've been in business, I think that I've only had probably 4 unhappy customers, and 3 of them were sent to me by my enemies to try to purposely sabotage me. Okay, I'm not going to speak about the other person, but at least 3 of them were sent to me to sabotage me, which is so sad. Like, when I think about how confused people actually are, and while, when it comes to your friends and stuff and people that you care about, of course, you're going to miss them. You care about them. But at the end of the day, you're not, what do you think, that you're going to ever have the ability to make me lose anything? Like, I'll offer them as a sacrifice before that happens. So if you guys have ever had the same issues that you've seen me have, I'm definitely a rich source of wisdom for that, because people that do that are factually beneath you. They don't have enough of their own. You know the saying, God is blessed the child that has its own. Clearly, you don't have enough of your own if you have to try to do that. And then to try to use your gender as a male, that's just sad. And this has to be discussed publicly, because the situation that this person tried to put me into was very embarrassing. Coming in my house and videotaping me and then expecting me to not talk about it. I'm not going to talk about you, but I'm going to talk about the demon that made you do that, which was probably a clown called it. Clown stuff, ignorant stuff, childish stuff that has nothing to do with my power as a woman. Okay. And I think that for centuries, because those types of men are very insecure about women. I think that it's been important for them to do that, which, by the way, is a generational hex for a lot of Black women. Black women, you cannot change their behavior. You can only change the reaction to it. I have consistently had them taking digs at my company, at my business for 6 years, and they have never been able to stop me. And that's the truth. Okay, no matter what they have done, no matter what they have said, I have been able to, and it hasn't been luck, it's been skill. Because the one element of it is having the ability to rise above it, and then also having the ability to not allow it to ruin your confidence, because they think if they turn on your camera and call you ugly, that means that all of a sudden your confidence is gone, and they're feeding off of your soul. If you call her ugly, you can get her solar plexus energy. What? See, that's why I work with Hecate, Lilith, Lucifer. They get very intimidated by those words. You know, Lucifer is the light bearer, okay? And so Lucifer is the light at the end of that very dark tunnel that they will try to take you down. Okay, and the one thing that you got to remember is that you got to get yourself to the point where you fear not the enemy and their ability to do harm to you. See, 24/7, I'm in a mode, and I'm really in a lucid state a lot of the times, especially when I'm doing a lot of rituals, and I'm in a state of that point between reality and magic. And that's how the magic is able to manifest. And no, I'm not a chaos witch either, but chaos witches, let me tell y'all what a chaos witch is. A chaos witch is a witch that simply does what is needed at that time, or she may do it differently. A lot of people think chaos magic is causing a bunch of chaos, and so that's because they're being taught the wrong way by the wrong people. But if you actually learn about chaos magic and dark energy, it's all about finding hidden treasures and things of that nature, and removing trapped doors, and it's very deep. And then when you think about necromancy, so necromancy is the ability to conjure certain spirits to do what you need them to do. And a lot of times these spirits can be directly related to your ancestors. And it can also be, feel like you have to follow your intuition when it comes to that. Okay, and so that's why I've been talking to you guys about shadow work, doing shadow work and actually figuring out what is needed at that time, okay, to manifest what it is that you need, especially when you're under attack by a bunch of people that are insecure. Oh God, I think that can give you cancer, stomach cancer or something. You gotta learn how to really, really, really get those people off of you. That is a damn shame. And we can ask them, well, why can't you figure out a better way? And why do you keep it? It's something that's innate in people. Some people are just petty and pointless with the things that they do. So when it comes to people, this is why we've been social distancing. I'm not afraid of people. I'm leery of people. I'm very leery of people. Seriously. Because, the type of energies that they can bring to you and bring into your house. This is why I always tell y'all, and see, a lot of y'all need to sage out y'all houses. You need some copal and some dragon's blood. because they'll come in your house, they'll bring all kind of spirits. Very important for you to smoke that stuff out of your house, because I mean, they are, oh God. And it just, and that's one of the, it's no different than when I'm dealing with a client. When I'm dealing with a client, I am dealing with your spirits. I am dealing with your demons sometimes. Well, a lot of the times, all the times. And doing quite a bit of negotiations with them. Now, I don't tell all of my secrets, but there's a reason why I've gotten to where I have gotten. Okay, and it ain't gonna stop. I think that they had some kind of weird fantasy about shutting me down. You know, that's so stupid. And for some reason, they think that just because they have access to my Etsy shop and they can see my numbers, it's so weird. It's so weird. I think that the whole Etsy situation somehow has triggered somebody, and it's so weird. I don't know what the hell it is, but I take payments from clients by Zelle. I take payments from clients by Cashapp, by Venmo, Western Union. Okay, automatic bank transfer. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different ways so I don't know why that's their main focus. It's so weird. Like, these people, they get stuck because whatever they feel they can have power over. So, uh, you know, in fact, I've thought about taking my rituals down from Etsy, but I think it's good that they're on Etsy because you can pay by your PayPal, and you can also get finance, and so it's perfectly fine with Etsy to offer rituals on there because you can actually buy energy work on Etsy. You can buy digital goods on Etsy. Okay. Now, the one thing that I can tell you is that if you purchase, I don't do this for cleanses typically because I don't have time. But if you have a generational hex remover, and this does make me tend to work harder because sometimes I get so busy that I don't have time to do it. But I did do your ritual. I'll just send you a picture of what I did. But it's actually recording your incantation and sending you kind of like a video that, and I think that it is helpful, but I think that that's not even necessary. I've only just started doing that last year, and I don't like it, and neither does my spirits. Okay, have a good night. Sleep well. I'm gonna be up like well past the witching hour because I've been asleep. Have a happy Friday to y'all. Another thing is that I'm really not intimidated by males at all, even if they're being ignorant and threatening me and being weird. I don't care about what you're talking about. I think that a lot of women have to decide either you are going to, if you are going to manifest it or not. And the one thing over here is that I'm definitely very powerful at manifesting. Okay. So that is the one thing, I may not be able to control a man that refuses to listen to me, which is like most of them, but I'm able to control my money flow regardless to what he does or says. And that will always be. That will always be, no matter how much he has tried to embarrass me. Okay, no matter how many times he has tried to embarrass me, And I think it's sad. I think that if you're a man that actually makes a choice to do a woman like that instead of, making her an ally on your side, I think that that's really sad for a man to do that. And we can't just ignore it like it's a pink elephant in the room. Okay, it has to be dealt with, it has to be talked about with all of these men. I've had a man for the past couple of years on a regular basis. He claims that I'm so broke and ugly and disgusting, but he uses my image, which is the image of a goddess. He uses my image to usher in donations. So basically, these men on YouTube are trying to traffic us, which is so sad. That it's so sad that they're so limited. Ain't they limited? They are so limited, in their abilities. But we are not. We are above that. We don't have to traffic them. This is not trafficking them. This is like a defense against them, having to point out the obvious. For some reason, they would like, just because they don't want to accept you as a witch, for you to give up on life. And it's like, partner, I'll never do that. Are you crazy? Fact of the matter is that I live a very charmed life. And I love what I do. I love my lifestyle, especially for a lot of you witches that would love to do the same thing. I can tell you that going against the goddess and going against women and trying to work against each other is going to be the biggest mistake of your life. A lot of people are learning that lesson, especially when it comes to Hecate. If y'all don't know who Hecate is, do your research. Okay, she's the queen of necromancy. She's the queen of witches. And I think that she always has a plan. She always has a backup plan, and she's very powerful. And the way that deities work is that you carry on the characteristics and the power of that deity. Okay, especially when it comes to Lilith. Okay, Lilith, I've heard some people, I've heard some people say that Lilith is harmful to women. I don't know. I would venture out to say that person either has not really connected with her energy. But Lilith, definitely when, for example, when people energy harvest off of you, she will quickly refuel you. Okay, in fact, Lilith is the one that I go to for when the goddess has been depleted of her prana, because that's exactly what they're doing. And what's weird is that I think it's this whole, men sort of having that homosexual vibe with them, and them feeling needy and codependent on a woman. And instead of them working with you, they like to work against you and try to steal your power. I think it's ridiculous. I think that truly coming into your power means that you use your power to manifest that you want what you want. You don't necessarily have to downgrade another person. And this is what for some reason, this is what they have decided that they are going to do, which to me is very weak sauce. And I'm not going to feel pressured on YouTube to have for somebody that I don't even really want to be with to claim me. Screw that. I don't, it was really disgusting. It really was, and they seem to be very upset about that. Get you some kava kava. I don't know why they won't unsub, because they want to be able to take what I have. They want to take my accolades, but you didn't build this. So I don't care if you like me or not. I don't care if you don't want to talk to me. I don't care if you call me ugly. You ain't gonna ever call me broke. Okay, so my whole consensus about it is that I can do better without you, and have done better without you. If a man is not enriching your life, it's time to get the hell away from him. For real. So I think that this year closes out a lot of the horrific, disgusting, relationships that I had attached myself to. And then, of course, those men, they're so desperate that they got to use what they think is an attachment. And you're like, well, I'm not attached to what the hell? It's been very weird. You can tell what they're trying to do in their little fake attacks, but it's like, but you know what I'm saying? It becomes stupid after a while. It becomes dumb. It becomes something that it's like, but why? You know? There's certain roots and herbs, especially if you are, because these men, boy, they, especially the black man, that's why I'm protecting the hell out of my sons, because, black men have violated so many people spiritually lately here, that, these storms keep coming through. They got this huge power outage. They have been, excuse me, y'all, identified as being a problem spiritually. They have been identified as being a problem, actively trying to hold everybody back because of their ignorance. I think it's ridiculous, and then, when they walk up to you and they're talking about Jesus and all of these different deities, and it's like, what the hell does that got to do with what we're doing over here? It kind of just makes you want to go and, because I don't watch, like, the ignorant drama. Like, I don't watch that. Like, I go and I'm very interested in the witchy channels. One of my favorite uh and you know what, I don't even want to give up her channel name. But one of my favorite, she is doing so many witchy things that I admire, and things that I want to do, as far as, doing paranormal investigations, and, just really doing things that are witchy. Witches do witchy things. They go to cemeteries, they go to haunted houses. They're not doing ignorant weirdness. And unfortunately, because so many of our people are superstitious nutcases, it's very difficult to even experience that with them. But then again, that type of person can come of any race, no matter what complexion they are. And for me, what I'm trying to speak into my life is attraction of people that are interested in the same things. And we don't even have to be talking about, witchy stuff all the time. We can do practical things like watch movies and cook. Witchy stuff comes natural. But, when witches are talking about certain things, it is because we do certain things. We do certain witchy things. It's not something that we're obsessed about. We're not necessarily throwing our cards on people all day and night. In fact, fuck a reading. I don't care what your reading says, the outcome can always change in the future. So readings can be very, is it subjective? They can change in the future. You can always change the future, especially if it looks bleak. I mean, what's the point in practicing witchcraft? You know, divination is not just to tell the future. Divination is there to identify the energies that you're dealing with, either from the past or in the present, or energies that you may deal with in the future. If you don't necessarily handle the spirits that you're dealing with at that time. So it's very complicated, and most people don't know about it. I mean, obviously, if you are a witch that has manifested, 50,000 one year, 100,000 in another year, 75,000 the year after that, or even 60,000 in one year in clients, then you know what the fuck you're doing, don't you? And it doesn't matter if so and so believes it. This person is very limited. And I'm not going to show my money anymore. I'm not doing that, because people that want to doubt and they don't want to believe in the power of magic, you leave them right where the hell they at. And you live your life without them. Real talk, because I'm going to tell you straight up, and I'm going to say this to any man that is out here actively trying to stop the flow of my business or trying to mess with my money, you're going to meet my sons of anarchy. That means my spirits ain't playing with you no more. Okay, I plan on taking an extended vacation around the holidays. I plan on taking a holiday. Okay, yes, I will still be available for work, but I plan on doing some traveling. Okay. And, doing some things. Yes, I do want to go back to KC and visit family. That's something that I haven't been able to do because people have been either trying to stick me in one place or keep me in one place. And from here on out, I'm completely free and feminist. Free and feminist. I don't just consider me to be Catwoman. I don't take orders from no man. I have a question. How often do you get harassed? Every day. I get harassed on YouTube every day. But you know what? It used to didn't be too often, but the harassment started more because when you are filled with a certain amount of energy, okay, because what these people have bragged about, and all of them have mentioned it, is vampire magic. And see, I've got ancestors that are vampires, okay? I do. And so there's really no such thing as vampire magic. There's energy harvesting that, vampires don't want to be associated with that. Tells us a story. What does that tell you, Bella Smith? Tell you that people are thirsty? Is that what it tells you, that those people are thirsty? I'd say that if you're getting harassed by the same people that have figured out that, people will donate to them to harass you, I'd say that it's people that are thirsty that ain't found their way in there. And so but what else does it tell you? Am I supposed to kill those people with my magic? People have free will. People can do whatever they want to do. I'm not here to control anybody except for myself and my household. In fact, it's been extremely a powerful process to not give a damn about controlling these people. Because I don't think about them. The only reason why I'm talking about them right now, tell us a story about you being prank called. What? What prank call? I don't know what you're talking about. Mhm. You know, that's what I look at it as though. I don't take it seriously. I take it literally as a prank. If that is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I'm a little confused. You're speaking very abstract. You're gonna have to be a little bit more what do you call that? You're gonna have to be a little bit more clear on what it is that you're saying. The man who left you a voicemail about marrying you. Oh, I'm not interested in getting married. Who did that? I would never marry any of those men. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Nah. And I doubt it if any of them are going to change. I prefer men that are connected with nature. Yeah, even if they did change, I wouldn't be sure if it were an act, if they were putting on an act. And I just, those types of men, what they like to do is they like to build you up. They like to build you up and then try to drop you down. And, I don't let them do that. Remember last year? No, that Zaina, what they try to do is they try to energy harvest. It's actually a ritual that they do, and it's very dangerous for them. Do you bully us a voicemail when you love somebody calling you acting crazy and somebody else asking to marry you? What? I don't care about getting married. Listen, hey, I'm going to say this. I don't care about getting married. That's not a priority for me. That's not a priority for me. Getting married is not a priority for me. It never has been. Okay. So, well, you're going to have to reword your question in because I totally did not understand what you were saying. Yeah, but getting married ain't no big deal to me. That's something that, that's a trick. That's a mind trick that they have done to women, to try to put us in a casting system. Oh, this person's married and this person isn't. We don't believe in casting systems around here. So, I believe that women are just, or they can be just as valuable, whether or not they're married, unmarried, whether or not they have children or not, whether or not they can bear children or not. Just depends on what kind of life they live in. For me, the type of women that I like to get down with are women that are just free, women that are connected with nature, women that are secure about themselves, women that are happy and fulfilled and they're able to have happiness and to fulfill themselves. I think that that's very important. I mean, a man could leave you or die at any moment if he chooses to. You know what I'm saying? It just is the way that it is. And, if a man is not all the way there with me, you can give them potions and stuff and you can, I think that if it's that much trouble, it's probably just not meant to be. It's just not meant to be. So, I just, as far as all that marriage stuff, I don't, look, I could have got married in my 20s and I didn't even do it then. Okay. I didn't even do it then. I didn't want to. I knew exactly how it would turn out. So why do it just to say, I's married now? I's married now. Just knowing that I wasn't going to stay with them. and I wasn't going to be happy in that union. So, if that's one thing that I could see, that's why I don't just jump and get married. I am not interested in marrying any of these men that I've met in the past 44 years, to be honest with you. Their energy is too toxic and bad. For me to be interested in marrying a man, my energy is very valuable to him, and we're not playing the casting game. Okay, we're not playing that. I just, I think that the establishment or whoever these people were to try to use men against me was a huge mistake. Literally, I beat them right out the gates when they tried to use men to control my narrative. Okay. So at this point, because of their behavior, I'll never marry them. Never. You ain't gonna get, a lot of women, if they see a big, pretty, shiny ring, like, how these men, they be like, I got you a 50-carat ring. It can be 150-carat diamond. I don't really know about that, but it could be the biggest diamond. And women will go, oh my God, yes, I'll marry you. This big. I'd say no. Here, keep your ring. I don't want your marriage. Bye. I'd rather have my liberation and my freedom. Okay. So I think that men have a tendency to control. Who is this calling me back to back? Goodness gracious. I think that men who have the ability to control women with marriage, it's like, I'd rather, you know what? Let me tell you how much I found somebody that I would actually marry. I would rather go and live in the middle of butt fuck, in the middle of nowhere, in the woods where bears and shit and foxes is all around. I'd rather just go completely, I'd rather just go and completely live in nature and off the grid by myself than to get married. Near a pond or a river or a lake or something. I'd rather do that than to get married, honestly. It's, marriage is supposed to be, I guess marriage, and first of all, I'm a witch. I don't get married. Witches hand fast typically, but there are some witches that are legally married. I wouldn't get married under that system because you're going to be possessed by certain entities. So I'll never get married. That system will never get me, and I'll never fall for it. Not interested. Everybody makes those decisions based upon, well, what if that person dies and you got to get what they got? I don't make every decision in my life based upon if somebody's going to die. Yeah, I can see that, Christina Davis. I can see somebody's definitely stalking me, ain't they? I don't know what it is that they want. It's so weird. Anyway, I'm just letting you women know that I'm available. Okay, for your rituals. And we're going to stay focused, very focused. You probably won't hear about me linking up with a man for probably another year or so. Okay, so everybody's interested in my love life, what I'm doing. I ain't doing nothing but loving myself. And I think it's important, it's something that I'm willing to sacrifice, sex with men and, them holding and hugging me. It's something that I'm willing to sacrifice for my greater good and the greater good of my children, because, I have specific things that I have guaranteed and promised to my children, and I will not, and if a man does not help me fulfill my promises to my children and my ancestors and, reaching certain goals, when you think about it, if you're with the right man, You got, 50, 75,000, 100 grand, 200 grand in the bank. You get one of them low vibing men and you ain't gonna have much. That's what they do. Okay, because they tend to not be very smart. Men, like, especially black men, they love struggle. They love to see women struggle, which is a turnoff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have had so many negative experiences with black men that I'm probably never gonna go back to them just because of that. And y'all saw it. They did way too much. I don't think I could ever trust another black man, to be honest with you, not to be a partner or a husband. It just depends on we'll see what happens in the future. But they tend to be very um self-depreciating. They don't really appreciate themselves, and so they can't appreciate you. That felt good. So the main aspect of it with witchcraft is that you can really have whatever it is that you want in life. That's the beauty of witchcraft. That's the beauty of finally getting with a witch. I remember that freedom, feeling that in 2018, and then during 2019, I was dealing with, oh God, eek, 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 but still managing, pulling all of the weight on my own, pulling it all on my own. But that weight got to be too heavy. You see what I'm saying? So for me, everything in my life has always been easy breezy. Well, not always. I'm talking about when I took that left-hand path, and I don't plan on, when it comes to you men, why would a woman be with a man that makes things harder on her? Nobody's going to be interested in doing that. When you've proven yourself to be full of crap over and over again, at some point, women have to walk away from you. It's very liberating. They want to be the one to walk away from you. And it's like, yeah, but why don't you just be a man about it? You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, my energy is too bad for you. And we're not compatible. We're working towards two totally different goals, even for each other. When it comes to men, my job as a woman is to nurture the man that they are, right? And then vice versa. To have somebody working in complete opposite, very insecure, Jamila can't deal with that. And I've tried it chance after chance after chance after chance with the same result. And it just, I'd rather be alone. I would literally rather be alone than to be dealing with a man. Okay. And they act like you got to do something today. Like, well, shit, if I want to be single for about another year and clear you out of my yanni, I can do that. They be trying to act like, oh, you got to go get you a man now. No, I don't. I don't even, shit, I barely want to deal with you. I'd rather live my life and be happy and laugh and have fun than to be tied to some crazy ass man. Okay, so y'all just know that Jamila ain't changed. Jamila ain't been changed. You know that song? Oh, I've been changed. No, I am still every bit of the bad bitch, the little bad ass, bad woman, bad girl, cat woman, bad bitch, wildflower. No, I'm very non-conforming to your expectations as a woman. Very strong and self-sufficient. Period. And the people that have tried to use a man to harm me, they don't know yet that women are much stronger than men. Keep in mind that women had to give birth to men, didn't we? They wouldn't be here if it were not for us. So when they do stuff like that, it's like women have to remember that. Don't you ever let them make you feel insecure, especially about me. Well, first of all, we knew that it was a 50-50 chance that that person can do that, especially being how the situation started out. So nobody was just like, oh, I'm shocked. It's like, well, just let's move on. And this is what I'm saying right here today, that I got those rituals that work, and it's time for y'all to do that because, well, first of all, a lot of you guys have been waiting on that. Y'all ready? Let's get those spots filled up for the people that want the generational hex breakers so that you can unblock your money and so that you can improve your health and your happiness. You can be the 10 of cups by yourself. Okay, I'm not the type of person that can't stand being alone. Why? Because I love myself. I'm good with myself. Sometimes I'll sit here and talk to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Do I feel that my love problems are a part of my generational hex? Absolutely. But I think that there was a lot of direct contact with that. I think that a man that has not been exposed to that would be a better choice because he would actually have the time to fall in love with me and without all of the other childishness happening. So, I'm not worried about love. I already know that I'm going to meet somebody pretty fucking amazing. He's going to be amazing, but that's something that I'd rather it be a surprise. You know what I'm saying? And I already know that I'm not old, I'm not ugly, I'm not fat. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? And so, let's cut to the chase, which is the fact that a lot of these people that you see hating on me are factually generationally hexed, and that's why they do stupid, self-depreciating things every day. I mean, a lot of y'all that never knew anything about Black people before, y'all should know that the same games that some of these Black men play now in their 40s and 50s, they played them when they were younger. For example, the negative opinion of sex. I am a sex goddess. There's a lot of things that I love to do in the bedroom that shouldn't be up for public consumption. Okay. Younger men, meaning teenagers that are in high school, they have a tendency to not appreciate sexual energy. I've actually had experiences where I've gotten into sexual relationships with Black men when I was younger, and it was always, oh, you're a whore. That's what they think of sex. And it's sad. It really is very sad. Okay, if they have too deep of a sexual experience with you, they get scared. Okay, I'm not afraid of sex. I'm not afraid of having a good time. It just is what it is. I'm not afraid to come out here and make money. I'm not afraid of any of those people. I think that that was the main thing that they were trying to get at, was that they were trying to cause some kind of fear. It's like, oh, you really don't know much about me. And see, the problem is that, my sun sign is a Cancer, which means that I'm very emotional. But my rising sign is that Leo. So I'm more so my rising sign than my sun sign, you know. And then my moon sign is a Virgo, which means that whatever creates an obstacle with my career or my creativity, I'm going to just simply move it out of the way and keep it moving. I also have my Venus is in Taurus. So you wonder why I have so many of these quote unquote vampires after me. It's because if you look at my Akashic records and who I am, I'm very, very blessed spiritually and energetically. And at this point, I'm definitely not trying to find no man. The goddess is trying to be replenished. By the way, I'm going to show y'all Hecate's egg. I'm gonna put up a short video when I'm done with this discussion and show y'all the egg that I had put on her altar, and show y'all how she literally ate the fuck out of this egg. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It's like she sucked all of the life force out of it. So I'm going to make her some more offerings. Know a lot about witchcraft, especially because I do it full time and I operate my business out of my home, which I pay the rent at every month. No government agency pays that. I still don't understand what the point of that lie was. I guess it was to say, don't go to her. She doesn't need the money. I'm thinking that that's what the point of it was. Oh, her rent is only $50 a month. Trying to make a come up, trying to make themselves look more powerful than me, when in reality, they're just afraid of me and intimidated by me. So, and we're not afraid to go there over here either. If I have to call to certain dark energies and spirits, I will. And I don't give a fuck about their judgment of me. I really don't. Like, they really want you to give a damn about what they think. I don't care about what you think. Because really, to be honest with you, how many of them are really actually thinking for themselves? Not many of them. Okay, they could have learned something from me. Instead, they chose to try to take from me and mimic me and, undercut me, which, I'm just going to tell you that that's some dangerous stuff that they doing. I guess it is what it is. Anyway, if you want some real quality magic, because right now what I'm focusing on is focusing on work for like the next year or two. I don't want to be focused on no relationship with no difficult ass man that needs to grow up. Okay, so all of my energy is going into the company, the business, my children living life, taking care of self. That's where I'm at this point. And so a lot of you, I noticed that y'all do have that Gen Hex remover in you guys' cart. And that ritual, just to let y'all know, it takes me about a month. I work on it a little bit at a time. Just to let y'all know that. Okay. And there's a reason for that, because it's certain energy shifts, and it depends on the time of the year that you're looking at. But the one thing about me is that I'm dependable. I'm not going to be sitting over here doing lady sings the blues and shit. Okay, Jamila ain't going to do that. Jamila handles business, okay? One thing about me is that I'm like a rock. I don't fold for nobody. And ain't nobody gonna goddamn tell me what to do. I don't care about your love. I don't need your love. I don't need nothing from you. And I definitely don't need no fake love. Yeah, it's a few of y'all that have that in your cart. And it's worth every penny. Okay. Let me see if I've had anybody, because I've had a couple of people purchase the Gen Hex remover on Etsy. Let me see if any of them have left any reviews on actual Etsy, because that seems to be the one ritual that triggers these men so much so to where, oh, okay. So on January the 17th, 2021, there is actually let me screenshot this review. Let me see if anybody else purchased it. And I will put it in the community tab. I've got way too many reviews, and not just on Etsy. I've got Yapo reviews. I've got reviews on my services for the past 5 years. Okay, 6 years, sorry. So I've got reviews dating back to 2015. I've always done quality work for people. Okay, doesn't matter what jealous people say. Okay, hold on. I've got like pages and pages to go through here. I think this may be I've got to contact others that have gotten that Gen Hex removal. But I've got tons and tons of reviews for it. But I found one, and I will upload it to my community tab. And I'll go and find some other reviews, because you got to hear from my real clients. Can't really listen to people that have never been clients of mine. Of course, I've had others that I've done that ritual for, and they need to submit a review. Just to let y'all know if y'all have gotten it, because that's exactly what people, that's exactly what you guys need. Okay. All right, I just posted it. Jamila is a jewel. She helped me in ways that I cannot put into words. Okay, so I just put that in the community tab. So, distrustful men don't have any power. I trust in magic. I trust in my magical abilities. Period. And it's nothing that they can do to change that. That's what they want to do. They want to cause you to not believe in yourself. That's why I refuse to marry any of them. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anytime you feeling totally fine, and a person communicates with you, and then all of a sudden you feeling all like, ooh, EBGB, hubba jubba, and scrambled and shit. It's like, God, I don't even want to talk to you if you got bad energy like that. Please, I will definitely just delete the whole situation. For real, for real. Like, I just can't believe some people. And a lot of these men and women that you see attacking me, they're just horribly insecure. Being secure within oneself is not an easy task, and it is because of the negative spirits that tend to roam through people. Okay. So Jamila is sort of like I'm in shaman mode. I'm in hermit mode, and I'm gonna stay that way for at least a year. I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody. Don't want to listen to certain people. And you know what? That's why I was telling that's why I was telling my clients, these people, I have talked about them so much that y'all have gotten into the habit of watching them. And if y'all believe a stinking word that these people say, you a damn fool, because they don't know what they talking about. They ain't earned what I earned. They wish they could ever earn what I earned. Ain't nothing but jealousy. You can either listen to those people, and I'm hoping that you guys can stop listening to those people at all, because none of them have credibility. Okay, and me liking toes doesn't discredit me. Trust me, my future husband, whoever that is, he's gonna love everything about me. Okay, so and I think that when you see a man or a woman trying to use sex as a weapon to try to discredit somebody, I mean, that's a very confused individual. Okay, somebody being fun in bed is, that's a good thing. That's a plus, but I'm not a prostitute. I'm a witch. Okay, and I would never be a prostitute. You're not going to see me do an OnlyFans page and be on there doing sexual stuff. Now, I may show some pretty graphic rituals, but you're going to have to pay $999.99 for that to view that, because y'all wouldn't believe some of the fucking rituals that I do over here. Okay, especially when it comes to my yoni and the education that I can give you about clearing these men out of your yoni space, because that's what they trying to do. Yeah. Okay, they'll try to feed off of your vagina, feed off of your solar plexus, feed off of your butt, feed off of your heart chakra. That's why they always talking about your titties. Try to feed off of your hair. By the way, my hair is growing lovingly. I don't really have to show my hair to prove that. They always want people, they'll say, what about your hair, huh? And then I guess I'm supposed to be like a fucking puppet and come on here and prove something. I don't do hair videos, And I think it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, and any woman that goes along with that is weak. I gotta take my allergy medicine, y'all. Any woman going along with that is weak. I don't trust no woman that's hanging around stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then try to pretend that they having fun. You're not having any fun. Okay? You're not. You're literally fake laughter, fake everything. You're miserable. And, for me, being a solitary witch, I am my happiest being a solitary witch. As far as being single, who gives a fuck? Like I can't believe, and this has been the same game played over and over again. It's totally ridiculous. Really, what it does is it just makes me a stronger woman. It makes me a stronger witch. It almost feels like my spirits are initiating me or something. But what's important to me is creating, and I gotta go, guys, because oh my God, y'all. Have y'all ever had Pandora's bread soup? You can actually buy it in the store. And what I do is it Panera, not Pandora. I said Pandora. Panera bread, they're broccoli cheddar soup. And I like to get the garlic bread, like purchase some garlic bread separately, the Texas toast, since I'm about to eat that in a minute. So I gotta go so I can eat. But you know, when you're done playing childish games and when you grow up, you start to manifest everything that you want. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody doesn't believe in that, then that's their belief. I'm not going to be around people who purposely make their own life harder. A person that's trying to give you a hard time has a hard life, and they're trying to project that onto you. So I'd rather be alone than to have friends like that. You know, a lot of people are codependent on that kind of thing. You know, when you become an adult, you're taking care of children, you know, and your friends can affect your children. And I don't friend people. I'm not friendly friends with people that could possibly have a negative impact on my children. When I see that you're trying to directly affect my company, my reputation, then, you know, that's when things get very serious. And my spirits will give you the opportunity to publicly apologize. Your apology means nothing if you can't do it publicly. So, you know, we can't be cool at all. We can't even be cordial if you can't publicly apologize to me. None of them. All of them will consistently be denied access to my energy as long as they're not publicly, as long as they are not apologizing publicly to me. And hermit mode began big time last night, going into hermit mode. Definitely cloaking myself. Okay, so you guys are going to probably see me in black robes a lot. I ain't got time for the BS. I got way too many people out there that need my help, children that need my help. A lot of you women, I'm going to assist you so that you don't have to raise your children in poverty, so that your children can spend time living and break these strongholds and break these cycles of these insecure ass men and your insecure ass fathers and grandfathers. Jesus. Give them to Jesus because they need Jesus. Okay, I'm a grown ass woman. You know, how many of y'all are grown ass women? You like, what the hell? I know y'all were wondering, what the hell is she tripping off of? You know, I wasn't tripping off of nothing. It's just that you try to reason with people. You try. Love is not a weakness at all. It's actually a strength. But when it gets to the point where the people that you're supposed to love have no respect for you, try to violate you and make a fool out of you, time to walk away. My son is kind of snoring a little bit, and he kind of sound like an owl. So, you know, and once you get past all that, you can start to do things that you enjoy and you become more healthier. Okay, so, you know, and Spirit has been kind of telling me to take a vow of celibacy for at least the next 6 months to a year, especially Aradia, taking a vow of celibacy. Okay, women get horny. Hell, that's what vibrators are for, your finger. Okay. You know, so I will be in hermit mode, dealing with your cases, not allowing anybody else in my personal space besides my children, of course. And so that's why they like to try to attack your children. They're going to be in for a rude awakening. Like I said, my spirits are on a totally different thing. And it is going to get better. You know, I pity the fool that tries that crap anymore. You're not making good with my spirits, though. You're going to consistently have problems if you were not able to publicly apologize to me. You're going to and don't get mad at me for what my spirits do to you. Okay, and if you try to send them back to me, I mean, what the fuck? They're my spirits. You think you're going to turn them against me? You think you're going to convince them to work against me? So that makes no sense. So people need to just respect. You ain't got to like me, but you will respect me. But a lot of people do like me. They like me, they love me, and they respect me. So I am here. Make sure that you guys get your consultations. There's a few of you that are literally at a point where you should have had that ritual 3 months ago. And you keep regretting not getting it. Okay, you keep regretting. So, stop living within that regret and do what you got to do, because it does work. Okay. And so I am a trusted person that when it comes to, maybe the property that you would like to own or live in or rent. I personally like having the option of renting, but home ownership just seems like debt to me. I'd rather, to be honest with you, when I buy my house, I'd rather pay cash for that mug, For real. What I would like to invest in is like a freaking farmhouse or a cabin or something, out in nature. I wouldn't want to buy a house over near these busy areas like this unless I were doing business. So this house would be a good investment because this, for some reason, when I moved over here, the traffic increased over here. I don't know what it was. It just, the traffic increased. It's so weird. So, this house, I would definitely, it's definitely a great location to do business out of. It definitely is. And but the one thing is that, what I found is that what a few people had done a couple of months ago is these people sort of had an attitude with me because they were watching these people, and I had to set them straight real quick, like, hey, those people are beneath me. I'm not trying to, seriously. When it comes to me being at the top of the pyramid, I am at the top of the pyramid. Period. And it's nothing that any man can do, whether or not his penis is large, medium, or small, can do to change that. And I don't care if I have to be lonely for a year or 6 months and shit. Honestly, I don't even know what loneliness is. That's something that's a projected ideal onto somebody. Okay, I have fun by myself. I'd rather be by myself because I love myself and I appreciate myself. So, I don't know what people be tripping off of, but I think that when you're a grown ass woman, and that's why these men prefer younger women, because they can run all over them and take advantage of them, and they like women that are not in a powerful position in life. They like the women to be beneath them because these are men that have low self-esteem and low self-worth. Did I lie about that? Was I lying about something when I said that? Honestly. And whenever you got somebody that's trying to embarrass somebody to that degree over and over again, y'all saw that he started it. I gotta address it. If you want to come back and start another fight with me, you can. But the best thing that you can do is just apologize publicly to me and my spirits. If you don't do that, you're going to be ignored. Okay, from this moment forward, you're going to be ignored. And I got the right to speak on what you did here today. You're not going to leave my legacy as that, because you're not my legacy. Okay? So this person wanted me to not discuss it, but I mean, how can you not discuss it? I'm not bringing up your name. Everybody know who the hell I'm talking about. You're not going to come over here and tear down and destroy every damn thing that I built. And it ain't got to be over my dead body. Trust me, I'll still be alive. It'll be over your dead body. Okay? When you get to the point where you can show some respect, then maybe, just maybe, you'll get to where I'm at. Okay? Y'all know where I'm at when y'all need to reach me. The way that you schedule a consultation is you can either visit my Etsy shop, you can Cash App me, you can Venmo me. All of my payment information is below. And to all of the people that like to kind of harass people during the holidays, the whole holiday season, I will be single, not trying to find a man before the holidays. Oh God, no. Hell no. Okay, I will be single through the holidays, and I will be focused on work, family, and goals, and fulfilling my life. Okay, so we're going to stay totally focused, and I want you guys to stay focused, especially some of you guys that have been sort of going back and forth, watching certain things. You know, I think that there needs to be an energy shift to where, you know, we don't pay no attention to that crap. It's so stupid. Like, it's not even entertainment, you know, and I'd like to get my brain cells back is what I like to do at this point. So, you know, if you guys want to go on this journey with me, you're more than welcome. I can promise you it's the best thing in the world. It is very free. No anxiety, no fear, no confusion, no arguing. You ain't got to, what the hell you got to argue with somebody for? What is the argument? You see what I'm saying? Like and you know, I'm gonna use YouTube for what it's for. No, I do not have a negative opinion necessarily of YouTube. No, I do not. I got a negative opinion of some of these people on here. But as far as YouTube, this is the platform that I use to advertise, because I'm able to visually show myself and my rituals and my readings. Okay, so that's what this channel is for. This channel is not to, you know, uplift a man or a woman that can't be uplifted. You know, somebody that tries to kick you down to lift themselves up in the first place, when that was never my intent. I've always been very loving, very accepting, and people took my goddamn kindness for weakness. Can guarantee you that ain't gonna never happen again. Because I like my life. I love what I manifest. I love what I do for a living. I love the freedom that it affords me, being able to vacation whenever I want, because I am self-employed. Now, those of you that are employed, that may not be where you're working towards. You know what I'm saying? I've got things that I have to do spiritually. You know, I have a different thing going on. You know, there's a lot of things that I would like to do, visiting, you know, all sorts of places that are important to me spiritually. Okay, and it's time for us to start exploring that, instead of trying to, you know, keep Jamila in this box, which I don't, guys, I'm totally disappointed at so many people's behaviors. It is ridiculous, you know, because it has just been disgusting, the displays that people have been doing. Okay. And I didn't do it to them, they did it to me. So I don't really, to be honest with you, I'm not going to be compromising anymore, apologizing for things that I'm not responsible for. I'm not going to apologize for your bad behavior, your awful bad behavior. I refuse to do that anymore. Absolutely refuse to do it. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. I look forward to hearing from y'all because I'm definitely ready. Like I said, I'm single. Okay, and many of my clients are single. So me coming on here saying that I got a man, y'all, that don't impress my real clients. It don't impress my real clients. Now if you are somebody that is married or in a relationship, I am good for couples too. So, I think that they like to try to spark fear. Oh God, if I go to her, she gonna mess up my marriage. Well, from what they told you, evidently I fixed a broken marriage. You're welcome, but I didn't really fix it. Because if it was really fixed, they wouldn't have been on the attack like they were. It's literally makes no sense for man and woman to be weaker together. Like, you might as well just not even call that a relationship. I don't even know how. So don't fall for the okie doke. In other words, is what I'm saying to you. Okay. All right, y'all. I will see y'all later. Peace and love. Have a happy Friday. And if y'all need some help as far as ignoring these bummy channels, God, like, I'm so sorry that I've ever led y'all to those people. Then y'all probably needed a cleanse anyway. So get yourself some cleanses and stuff and clear that out of your energy. Clear it. Okay, because that's exactly what we're doing. We are not going to be thinking about these people by tomorrow morning, even. By the time we make it to Halloween. Y'all know Halloween is definitely the witch's favorite holiday. Okay, it's the witch's new year. By the time we get to Samhain, we just gonna be stuffing our face with candy and caramel apples and having a jolly time. I don't even want to think. Ain't y'all ready to not have to think about these very negative people? I am so ready to not even have to think about them at all. We don't even want to think about them. I'd rather get into a good book or I'd rather binge watch American Horror Story or Charm. Don't know. And so they're constantly trying to make you think of them. And it just, it's a total aloofness that they're gonna get, and they'll probably throw temper tantrums like little babies. Nothing we can do about it. But we will bind their intent from doing any harm to us, right? Because like I said, it's people's constitutional right to act like complete idiots. We don't have to act like complete idiots with them. Okay. Okay, guys, I will see you guys later. Love and light. Have a happy Friday. And be prepared for some readings. Yes, I do too. I trust magic too. Absolutely. That's why I never feel insecure, is because I trust magic. Okay. All right, y'all. Peace out. Peace, y'all. Bye-bye.